So, how are you guys? I decided to produce a video for relearning the entire Rust. I've been coding and using Rust for a long period of time, and I decided that I'm going to start relearning because the AI tools cannot produce Rust code quite easily, not like Python and other simple. So I decided that, hey, let me document my journey when I'm relearning the entire Rust. Maybe someone will be intrigued, or someone might learn something who is a fast learner, or someone who has ever done this. Rust is a simple language, and this is not a beginner's course, but it's slightly beginner's course because I'm not focused with the entire fresh, but I'm focused with fresh, just reminding myself. So we're going to head to the Rust website. You search Rust and you can find it. So we're looking for something called Rust book. I'm going to open install in the new tab and learn in this tab. So this one is installed. So let's scroll. No, doesn't make sense. What about this one? Yeah, get started with Rust. I can see it. So we open the read book. Then this one are useless. This is the important one. So the Rust book. So if you want, you can download by clicking here. Don't know why it's not downloading. So that you download it, so in case of no Wi-Fi or something happens, you're offline and you can do your own work. So yeah, it has finally save as PDF, and then you click save. So don't worry, I'm using Linux commands. Some of these commands you can run them in PowerShell. As long as they're Rust, for example, the cargo library, you just type cargo in PowerShell, it will still, as long as you have downloaded Rust. Don't worry about that. So it's still loading. Yeah, this is the light mode, which is the book defaults. So I'm going to save it here in downloads. No, let me save it in books folder. Where is books? Yeah, I found it. I click save. So in anytime I'm offline and I want to keep learning, I'm going to open it. This is the first step. So the Rust programming language, one of the fastest, and this is the introduction. That is what we are focused with. That's what we're focused on. Now this is installation. The first step is to set up the Rust, as they've said. So setting up, I have this one downloaded, but if you want, if you're using Linux, you can click it there. But I have it downloaded in mine. You can also download it for Windows. So I'm going to skip the installation part because it's not beginner level programming. So we're going to go to the project directory. We want to follow these guys and create a new project that is called Hello World, so that we can do this. So I'm going to my terminal. I'll type, we go to the projects folder, then I'm going to create a new project, and then we create a Hello World project. So let's see if we can understand this. No. There's some arrows, so I'm going to Control C to break it. I'll create make directory Hello World. Wow. Then we enter Hello World. Now to start a new Rust project, you just type cargo in cargo new Hello World, just like that, and then it creates the entire repository. So we're going to head into the Hello World project. Then we open our VS Code, because this one is a code from scratch program. So as you can see here, this is the function main. That is what we want to focus. So we're going to open our VS Code. Now this is our VS Code. So there's something called Cargo Watch. Cargo Watch is a crate or a library that keeps on detecting any change of file in the code. So if you add a new function, it refreshes the cargo run instead of every day running cargo run. Cargo run is used for running the repository. So you just write cargo watch dash execute run, and then it keeps on listening and rerunning every time. Or the short form, you can write dash x for executing. You see, it keeps on refreshing. It has identified there's the default hello world function that is produced by Rust when you create a new project. So this is just the new updates. You can read if you want. I'm not usually interested with this unless you want to become better in VS Code. So this is our main thing. But before I go there, .git ignore, you list files that you don't want it to be committed, files that usually have large storage like target, cargolock, and cargo.toml. Cargo.toml is used for your packages, the name of your package, the version, edition. Dependencies include things like the libraries that you want to add. Now this is the main function. This is the structure of a function. function main bracket, then you print line. Print line is used to print a statement. So every time you want to produce a function, you start with fn in Rust, then you say the name in underscore so that you don't have errors. Then you enter bracket, and then you write print line to print anything on the terminal. So for example, we to say hello, hello what? You can say hello world. Okay, you save this file, and then you go back to your cargo watch, and you'll see this exact thing will be printed on the terminal, and this is the structure of the function main. So we can remove that, and we can write our custom function, which is say hello, and this print line will be printed on the screen. Now as you can see, it has already been printed. We can change anything here and it will still be printed by cargo watch. So this is just the basic function structure. You can review it, you can read the book. So not interested with those, so simple, but we can go on the next. Like I told you, cargo.yml is used to list the packages and the dependency. If you want to download a new dependency, it will be listed there. You can list there and then build, or you can just write cargo add and then this library. Anyway, this is building. You build a project to produce binary. You can write cargo build -- release. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I know cargo build produces binaries. If you want to check for any errors, you write cargo check. Now there's cargo build. Okay, you can understand that. I've already told you that. I'm trying to explain the terminal for those people who won't be able to see. Now cargo build -- release, as I say, I don't know, usually it's work. I guess it's used for deployment purposes. Honestly, I don't know. Then there's cargo check. Cargo check is used to build without binary, just finding the errors. It doesn't produce the binary, it just finds the errors. So like I said, going to relearn about the entire project, and right now we're still looking at the cargo stuffs. Can build a project and run it using cargo run, but don't just use cargo run, just use cargo watch. Cargo, which is a library for Rust. Big crate, it's a package manager like npm and pnpm and yarn. Those who have interacted with these kinds of things understand a package manager, what it is. So we're going to do this game, processing a guess game, and we're going to search Gemini to understand what this library is. Standard IO. What is this? Yeah, I don't remember this, learning this. So I'm going to use this for undercover mode so that you guys don't hack me. Anyway, what is this work? The work of this crate? Use standard IO. Yeah, I think I've typed that one too fast. Anyway, in Rust, it is usually a crate itself. It's an import statement or use declaration that brings Rust standard input. Think of it as opening specific toolbox, so you don't have to keep typing the full path every time you want to use this tool. So here's the breakdown. Standard is a standard library crate. It comes built in with Rust and provides essential core functionality like vectors, strings, and networking. So IO is a module inside the library that handles input and output operation. For example, the IO module inside this library, called standard input, is used to read terminals from the user. So you call the readline function. The readline function passes a storage, for example, input string, which is immutable, and then it stores the data from the what is called variable, from the terminal to the variable. Where was I? So where was I? Yeah, they've given us a simple example. We're going to do that simple example. No, I wanted the VS Code. This too large screen, but anyway, we can still do it. So we're going to comment this, say hello. What was it? Was it allow unused variables? No. Was it? I can't remember actually. It's been like 2 years since I used it. No. I think that time there was something that usually assisted you. It doesn't make sense. You can just, but there's one thing that I've remembered. You just place an underscore between the function and it will just pass that thing. It will allow the function to run automatic. So we're going to import this library, use standard crate, then 2 dots, then IO. That is, the 2 dots means this crate, Yeah, as you can see, function take input from the user. Now this is our function. This is the structure of the function. We've already learned that. Then we're going to first want to take something from the user. So you can print line. What was this guy saying? Yeah, we print line, type something. Okay, this is the entire structure that we need to make. So you print line, type something, then you let mutability of input. Let is a variable. Mutability means this variable that I'm going to create, allow it to be flexible. If I just say let x is 5, or let name is maybe Coda, this name cannot be changed. It will be always Coda. Okay, so let's print line, hey, type something here. Okay, then once this user types anything, we want to store that variable in a string. So we say let mutability variable input, which means it can be changed. I'm going to initialize using a string, a new string that is usually a crate for strings. I think I can remember that. Yeah. And then we use this module to read from the terminal. IO crate, IO module from the standard crate, standard input function. Inside the function, there's an inner function that called readline that we pass in the mutable variable, and then dot expect is used to handle error crashes. Okay, so like I said, IO, then we pick the crate. I think there's this thing that used to help me. It was called the Rust library. Rust. I almost said last. Kind of joking. But where was I? Hmm. Maybe this can help. I'm so fucking dependent on Gemini. Gemini is the best AI out there, and I support it. You should use it to think and help growing. So by the end of this course, for example, you might have a knowledge on Rust and advanced stuff, and then you use your knowledge to code the Rust, and then you use the help of AI so that in case AI disappears, you understand the entire system. You can continue writing your own code. You're not fully dependent, and you can explain the code. So IO standard input dot read line. We pick a variable mutability and then expect it handles any crash errors. Yeah, type something. Yeah, I think that's good. That's not that complicated. Okay, we're going to write check on this print line input. Type this. Yeah. So this one was just a string formatter. Colon and a question mark is a string formatter saying the input is a string. If there's no colon, I can't remember the actual thing, but it was something to do with, can't remember actual formatter. I think I've been deep into other stuffs like AI and vibe coding. I almost forgot programming. Yep. So let's see. IO standard input. Yeah, there's an error. Sorry, guys. Standard input. And we check here. Exit status is 0. Finished running. It's finished running. Why? Oh, take input from users never used. Oh, I haven't added the function to my main file. If the main file is the only file that is the only function that is being processed, the main function. So if you don't add something there, it won't be processed. So let's go and check it. Hey, type something here. I'm Steven. Yeah, and I'm a coder. I think saying I love Rust makes the course even more happier. Says that I finished typing. Yeah, and this is basically the simple simplest explanation for the Rust course. And I think I'll stop there.